Probably the easiest is the 5 circles. Probably the one that after the semester, if you think you're going to probably bring one home or memorize it, it's the simplest. All right? It is, of course, the ball, the double outward circle, double inward circle, and are alternating. All right? And there's no order. We're going to start with the ball as we did the other day. The size of your ball first is what? Collarbone and center, and then expand it out and be holding the ball. So this is relaxed. We don't want to see any of this. Remember, if I held my wrist, boom. Yeah. This should be touching collarbone. And then, slowly, of course, keeping the hands the same distance in parallel, just slowly turn the ball. Nice. All right. And now, did your ball shrink or expand? It tends, and we start to... In the beginning, that's okay, but that's why it's such a challenge, why that rain stick or that ruler idea is such a great thing. But it gets back to the elbows. If you relax your elbows, look, my elbows really aren't moving that much. They're against my body, and it's my forearms and my wrists. Right? We tend to be truck drivers. We're out here. I joked about it before, right? If I had a belt or the Robbie the Robot thing, I want to be right in here, relaxed. When you're in the chair, if you're sitting correctly, this is a great one, and it doesn't matter which way, but as you turn the ball, slightly rotate your body, but don't lean. 1 and 2. Nice. He's doing it nicely. What you want to be careful is this. The body one is, because I'm turning this, you'll get this tilt. So you have to turn your hips on an axis as you turn the wheel. So you're keeping your back very straight. Nice. Back and forth. Beautiful. This one in and of its own, boy, you could spend a good 5 concentrated breathing minutes in this one to create a very, very intense energy field between the palms. As I said before, the right and wrong, you can be turning either direction. The body will find a preference. I tend to turn towards the hand that's coming up, as opposed to the other way. Return to the center with either hand on top. This is kind of a nice transition. Simply cross the wrists and bring them down, and we're going to flow right into setting sun, which is just a double circle down, the old straightening the beard. Right? And that's what you want to do at first. The palms open, and I form the ball almost under my chin, not forced, and I have a feeling of that soft triangle going down the center, expanding. This is a great one, the obvious breath. Inhale, exhale. You're studying Reiki? Is it Reiki? Excuse me. This movement, again, what you can do with it is a couple of things. A, we're pressing towards center, but if you are more into the energy, you can take this and draw it towards line of heart. Still be the same circle. Or I could draw it and gather it more towards my center, if you needed that energy. Or I can go back down to the pressing. Here, it's a very simple, classic movement. Setting sun. As we do this one, we pause at the bottom. Simply turn your palms, and now follow the line up the middle, rotate, and circle around, rising moon. With any of these, as we did with the ball, I can add a waist turn. Classically, notice as I open, I turn, and as the hands come to center, I come to center. I turn at the waist, lift and open to one side, beautiful. And let the waist bring me in. Nice. And then return to center for a moment. One of the great things about the circles, I already talked about the secret smile, right? You know, my favorite image, I like to see my wife coming home from the airport, whatever works for you. Each one of these also, just like a lot of Qigong, they have a connection to the organs and all this stuff. And I've been doing this 20 years, and honestly, I've never pursued that part of it. I don't care if it's real or not, and it's not it. I love it. It would work. If somebody said, oh, that's not real, I don't care. It works for me anyway. I just don't follow that path. What I like is the emotional content of these. This one, obviously rooting or feeling a little off balance. Okay. This one, what is this right here?
Embraces.
Yeah. So, if you do not have your secret smile during this one, you're missing a whole bunch of stuff here. This is fabulous. I mean, that's a universal, we've got universal positions. We have this, right? These are all, every human being does this. So this, whatever this is for you. So let's continue with whatever image gives you that secret smile, rising moon, but right here. Yeah. See already the energy that moves so much nicer, isn't it? And once more to the other side. And then we simply take that outward circle and we alternate it. And just, again, you can joke with the hitchhiker, wave hands. One hand here. Turn a little bit. Let it drop. Yeah. Now you have lots of choices in this one. One is the body moves. You can choose to gaze at your palm. That's the most meditative. And as it drops, my gaze is soft until the other one is caught. Beautiful. Also here, right at the end of your turn, if you want to get a little more of that fishtail articulation, as soon as your body ends the turn, then let this rotate. So it becomes a little hula-like. I'm the back of my hand, rotate, float. These little wrist articulations will really make a difference. Nice. So what is the emotional content of this one? What does this feel like? We had reverence almost or joy in the last one. This might be the same thing. It certainly feels good. No? Me, I like this one. This is that, have you ever had a mosquito bothering you? What do we tend to do? Well, the mild annoyance of the world doesn't matter because I'm just letting things brush by me. That's the thing I get from this one. You'd almost look at the gesture. So what? Right? Seriously, you want to take that? Yeah, it is. If you have a 16-year-old daughter, you hear that a lot. It's just a different attitude behind it.
That's also,
oh, yeah.
That's also the best way of shooing away bees without getting stung.
Nice.
Real gentle
precisely.
movements like
that.
that.
We used to do these crazy karate camps with that floating feeling, is you're going to make a circle with each hand drawing inward. So it's just this alternating swirl. Exactly. If you can engage a little bit from the hips and the waist, that's best. It's sometimes a little hard to do, but make the movement now a little closer to center and smaller. And begin to slow it down so much the hands almost have to stop on their own. Turn the palms up and rest them on the lap. Make sure you're drawing up from the golden thread and breathe for a moment.